Hey all, Shimmy here. Now I have a few questions for you. Do you have a nostalgia for old Cartoon Network shows like Dexter's Lab or the Powerpuff Girls? Do you have a love for RPGs like Zelda: A Link to the Past or even Link's Awakening? And most importantly, do you have an overwhelming hate for vampires? The only thing that helps is beating them down with a hockey stick? If so, then hashtag blood, that's BLUD, was specifically made just for you. Now, the first thing you'll undoubtedly notice about this game is the animation style. Everything was hand drawn in the aforementioned Cartoon Network style of old, and as someone who grew up in that era, they nailed the overall aesthetic of this game. All the characters are unique with a ton of charm, the setting is gorgeous, and it's just a nice place to spend about 10 or so hours as you work through the main story. To me, this is one of the best looking indie games in recent memory. The story revolves around Becky Brewster, a high school freshman who just moved to town and is starting her first day of high school. She quickly discovers that her mother's recipe book is actually a haunting grimoire that contains instructions on how to banish the undead. And just as quickly as that, Becky discovers that her new town is swarming with vampires, and with the help of her new friend Corey and mentor, also the school janitor, Chris Christopherson, she sets forth to rid the town of evil that is plotting to wipe out the living. I thought the story was very well done. You could tell the developers put a lot of care into this, and I do love the pop culture vampire Easter eggs that were dropped in here and there. Chris Christopherson being one, and Whistler's Forest, which all pays homage to Blade. Now, this isn't a complaint. I get that budget sort of thing, and this is a small indie studio, but I really think voice acting would have taken this game to the next level. I'm not dogging any points for that, but I believe it would have been a fantastic addition. The combat in this game, however, is okay at best. At times, it feels very clunky. There's weird things with the hitboxes. It's kind of difficult to describe. They're not terrible, but they just feel off. Like there's sometimes when you swear you shouldn't have been hit, or there's times you swear you should have hit the enemy, but you still end up taking damage or missing your attack. It took a while for the combat to click with me, and it finally does when you get the powerful Brenda, which is a brutal hockey stick that is adept at slaying vamps. As you progress through the story, you find power-ups similar to games like Zelda. You get an umbrella that acts as a shield, a shovel for, well, digging, and even a hookshot. Another complaint I do have is Becky's roll. There's not really an invulnerability window with it. You roll into an enemy, you're going to take damage. Also, if you hit the attack button out of a roll, do a powerful uppercut, but with those weird hitboxes, you often roll into an enemy before you can execute the attack. Like I said, the combat wasn't bad by any means. Sometimes it was boring, and sometimes the mechanics all meshed together really well. As I said, it was very okay. Like many other RPGs, this game has a ton of puzzles and side quests that help you interact with and learn more about the world Becky has been thrust into. This school is filled with a bunch of kids ranging from the preppy to the nerdy to the goth, and they all are charming in their own way. It does seem like some things are locked and you progress as a bit to the story though, so if you are a completionist, make sure you're doing everything you can before moving on. I did think the puzzles were all well done. Some did test your patience a bit, but I never found myself hard stuck. It would just take a little extra exploration in some spots. Overall, even though this game does have a few warts, I thoroughly enjoyed my time with Becky as she worked through slaying as many vampires as she could. It took me about 10 hours to complete the main story, and if I had done all the side quests, it likely would have added another 5 to 10 hours on top of that. I think this game is well worth your $25, and I give it a solid 7 out of 10. Thanks for watching, everyone. Shimmy signing out.